My name is Jill Hardy-Heath, and I have the great pleasure of leading Heart of America. You'll hear in a little bit from one of our other leaders, Shelley Lucas, who Heart of America is. But simply put, we focus on education equity, and we believe in the power of partnerships, which you will see today as a result of this amazing space behind us. Without our partners, PNC Bank, thank you very much for your sponsorship of this project. And all the awesome PNC volunteers, appreciate you taking time away from your desk. I don't want to say off of work, because this is work, right? Community work is work. So thank you for being here. Also, the library system and Maureen as the interim director. And I would be remiss, I've heard it is Library Staff Appreciation Day today. So let's give a huge round of applause for the wonderful people who staff community resources like these. And if you've ever been to any of the libraries throughout the St. Paul Public Library system, everyone is unique, and this one is no exception. And we will hear more from Shelley a bit about the unique elements of this library space and what PNC, the library staff, the city staff, and Heart of America have created together. Without going on too much about my friend over here to my left, Mayor Carter. He has been following Heart of America's work for a while, and we are so thankful as a city councilor 15 years ago, now as mayor, supporting everything from library work to creating career pathway centers with St. Paul Public Schools, and then also supporting our efforts post-George Floyd with the civil unrest throughout this great city and our metro area. Mayor Carter, you are a friend. Thank you for your undying support and your belief in us, and knowing that, again, we can make magic happen together. So without further ado.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you. And can I add, with it being Library Staff Appreciation Day, would the library staff, would you guys join me up here? If you don't mind being on camera. You don't have to. You don't have to, but if you don't mind being on camera, I want folks to see, if you don't mind being on camera, it's okay if you don't want to, but I want folks to see the great folks who make this building work. This building is amazing. This building is so magical. This is a building that I've gotten to know really well as mayor, as a city council member, and most importantly as a dad in this neighborhood. My children and I, spent many weeks coming here and feeding their pet wolves in the computers and doing puppet shows and checking out books, and we sort of probably could have a growth chart for our own children in this space. And this is the crew that has literally helped me raise my children. So would you give them a big round of applause? We couldn't be more delighted with the way our St. Paul Public Library is driving forward an agenda for our whole city. From the beginning of time, from my earliest history books, libraries were the icon of free access to information. Libraries were the icon of the center of knowledge in a community, the center of knowledge in a nation, the center of how people access resources and information. And it only makes sense for us to make sure that's always the case here in St. Paul. Let me tell you, I'm super proud of the ways in which the crew you see right here and our library staff across the city have just driven the identity of the St. Paul Public Library over the past several years. From going fine-free in our St. Paul Public Libraries, that deserves a big round of applause. So every family can afford to use the library, to saying, how do we infuse social workers in our public libraries to make sure, because when people need resources, sometimes it's an encyclopedia, but sometimes it's housing tonight. And this staff has helped to make sure that people who come to our library can literally find whatever resource, whatever information that they need. That's really important. It's about saying, how do we provide story times in 9 different languages so all the different families who live really just in a 2-block radius of this library building can come in this space and see themselves together. But this is a team who said that's not even enough. Our young children who speak Karen, our young children who speak Somali, our young children who speak Spanish and Hmong need to be able to find books in their own language, and we couldn't find books to buy. Guess what this staff did? They found people to write them. Now, Jill said I've been following Heart of America for a long time. The truth is, it sort of feels like you've been following me. Because 15 years ago when I was on the city council, we got a call. It said, hey, we want to come into the Maxfield Elementary School library. We want to completely rebuild the whole thing, fill it with books, and send every kid home with 7 books. And if their little brother or sister comes, they can have 7 books too. And I remember thinking, what's the catch? Like, what is it that you want from us? And what we found out is that what this organization wants is to make sure that every child on the planet has access to books. That's That's a really incredible and bold vision. And let me tell you, when you go to St. Paul libraries, public libraries, school libraries, little free libraries, home libraries, you can know that Heart of America has been there and has helped us to make sure that young people can access books in amazing spaces in our community. That's so important because like the spaces, think about the spaces we all grew up in and the warmth and the environment and the adults and the people around us all contributed to our learning, and we get a chance to expand that. I'll tell you this, as mayor, the biggest frustration of this job is that when I walked into the office, I could never find the magic wand. And what that means is there's a bunch of stuff, ambitions that I have for this community every single day that I can't just say abracadabra and make happen. So we need incredible partners like you, Jill. We need incredible partners like PNC. I want to thank you, all the volunteers who have come out here today. Give yourselves a big, huge round of applause. And it's really heartwarming to see that our partnership with Heart of America is growing, because this really isn't about PNC. It's not about me. It's not about the city of St. Paul. It's not even about this amazing, incredible treasure of a resource we have in Heart of America. It's about the young people who are enjoying this space behind us right now, and all of the young people in all of the communities across the city, across our state, and across our nation who have been able to benefit based on this work. I really appreciate our partnership. We have our city council member, Rebecca Naker, in the room too. I appreciate our partnership with you. Obviously, the city council is a critical and important partner who we could do nothing without. Interim Director Hartman, it's great to see you here, and I appreciate your work. And it's just an exciting time to be a part of the St. Paul Public Library story. I want to thank you all for helping to write the next chapter of that story with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Carter. As Mayor Carter so eloquently pointed out, it is these children are our responsibility, our joint responsibility, and that means being thoughtful about where they spend their time and how they spend their time. And PNC Bank knows with their Grow Up Great program, which you'll hear a little more about, that it's not only about school time, it's out of school time, particularly during the summers, during the holidays, even during pandemics, which we hope we don't experience again in our lifetime, but making sure that we're all taken care of and that learning pipeline continues, home, school, and out of school time. And that is why this library is so important, and why I am thrilled to introduce next the interim director of the St. Paul Public Library System, who has done a phenomenal job stepping in. Maureen, we've known each other a couple of years now, and your leadership, your vision is commendable. So everyone, Maureen Hartman, the interim director.
Thank you, everybody. This is like such a great part of the job to see. We were talking earlier about community. Our mission at the St. Paul Public Library is to welcome all people to connect, learn, participate, and grow. And we revised our mission last year to include that word participate. And today feels like the exact right definition of that. We heard from our community that they want to be part of creating this space with us. We heard from our partners. We've heard from our city colleagues. And so it's so exciting to be able to introduce this space. This is part of an ongoing effort to make our spaces awesome. They are already great. Library spaces by default are great, but we want to create them with more options for families, more ways for kids to continue to learn and for families to play and learn together. So it is so exciting to have our partners here. and our staff all pointing in that same direction. At the end of the day, these spaces, we want to welcome every single person in the city of St. Paul into our library spaces. And lucky all of you, you get to be welcomed in today to one of our brand new spaces. So thank you, Jill.
Thank you so much, Maureen. So not only is today Library Staff Appreciation Day, but this month is National Library Month. And so it gives me great pleasure to actually introduce not only a council member, but the library board chair. So Rebecca Necker, can you come up here and talk about your role as board chair and why you're here?
Thanks, Jill. Well, good morning, everyone. I promise that I did not purposely try to coordinate my outfit with the artwork behind us today. I did not see it in advance. I am so thrilled to be here today. I'm Rebecca Naker on the City Council and also Library Board Chair. And I was just thinking as I was standing here listening how wonderful it is to get together and celebrate good news, right? And have a press conference about good news. The mayor and I were at a press conference on Sunday about rising floodwaters in the Mississippi River, and that one felt a lot different than it does to be here today celebrating good news. And the good news here is on so many fronts. It's the partnership of PNC and Heart of America and the corporate community and nonprofit community coming together to embrace our libraries and our families. It's the good news about, as the mayor said, the kids learning behind us. There's a lot more than playing and learning and growing going on right there, right? That is where our city is really being built as we speak, as we stand here. And it's the good news about a city that truly believes that investing in our children is the best possible investment we can make in the future and the present of our community. I'm so proud to be part of a city that believes that to its very core, that invests in that, and so proud to be part of a library system that is supported by community in the way that we see here today. I cannot wait to come back here with my own kids. I can't wait to use that amazing light bright wall that I hear is coming from North Dakota. I might be first in line. Just want to thank everyone so much for this amazing opportunity today. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. So obviously this is an incredible city and library system, but the library system is so crucial that the community members come together and they form organizations called the Friends of the Library. So we have a great privilege to hear from Senior Director of Development, Diane Konopka, and she is representing the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library. So Kanana.
Thank you so much, Jill. It is such a privilege to be here today on behalf of the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library, where I have the honor of serving as Senior Director of Development. The Friends, for those of you who don't know, is a nonprofit organization with a mission to serve as a catalyst for the library and a vision that we have a dynamic library at the heart of every community. We stand so fully in support of the Transforming Libraries vision, which this is such a huge part of these beautiful play and learn spaces. It is really, we know that playing is learning, and it's through these efforts that our community can come together and help ensure that our youngest neighbors can participate in and can grow in through the power of play. So thank you to PNC Bank and the Heart of America Foundation. It is such a privilege to be here with you today. Thank you.
Community groups are so important, so appreciate your dedication to making sure that libraries across your great city are well-resourced and supported. So without further ado, I have the pleasure of introducing one of my dear colleagues and leaders in the organization, Shelley Lucas. Shelley is VP of Program Development, new title, Operations. Yeah. And she manages and her team projects across the country. So Shelley, please.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Shelley Lucas, and I have the great privilege of leading the team at Heart of America who transforms the spaces. And so I would love for my team and the rest of the Heart of America team, if you could please raise your hands. They did a fantastic job. And I certainly can't speak for all of the PNC volunteers that were here this morning, but I had a great time. You all were absolutely amazing, and it couldn't have been done without each and every one of you. As Jill mentioned, Heart of America is an educational equity organization, and we work all across the country in schools and community spaces, transforming spaces just like this, because we firmly believe that every child deserves an inspiring space to learn in, and we know how important that message is in many, many communities today. It's a big month with all of the celebrations. This week also happens to be HOA's 26th anniversary. So how appropriate that we're in a library where we got our start. So with that, I also want to make sure that we take an opportunity to acknowledge all of our partners that made this happen. So the beautiful murals on the pillars were created by local artist Emma Eubanks, and then are on a film that has been applied to the pillars, which is how they got up there. I do encourage you, if you haven't already, to look at the pillars. There's lots of inspirational messaging that comes directly from the community, and all of the images come directly from this wonderfully rich and cultural community as well. Glimma, who helped with the installation of the murals, C70 Builders, who actually has been a partner with us on all three of our PNC partnership projects, and I think David is here back there. Thank you, David. Our flooring contractor, Sonus Interiors, who has partnered with us on 2 of 3 projects. Our painting partner, Kesson's Painting, who's also been involved in 2 of 3 projects, Prestige Drywall, and Kuntz Construction. So thank you all. Again, we're so appreciative of your support. We've had an amazing day and look forward to continuing this great partnership with PNC and also St. Paul Public Libraries. Thank you, and I will turn it over to, sorry, I will turn it over to Kate Kelly from PNC Bank.
Hello, everyone. As you just heard, I'm Kate Kelly. I'm the regional president for PNC Bank here in Minnesota. And you can see all my colleagues in the blue t-shirts. We are just delighted to be here. As you heard, we've been partnering with Heart of America and the St. Paul Public Libraries on 3 projects. This is our 3rd. And each time the excitement builds. And, I was in conversation earlier about the prior library and just how it's 1 year later engaging the community. For us, that's a total delight. You've heard about a lot of celebrations. It's also what we call at PNC Great Month. I don't know, we're stacking up the months, And Great Month is really where we celebrate a very signature philanthropic program that we call Grow Up Great. It was back in 2004 where our CEO went out and said, let's ask the employees, what do we really want to focus on and really move the needle on? And it was a resounding answer from the employees, and that was early education. So since 2004, we've been focusing on Grow Up Great. It's now over a $500 million multi-year initiative, and we do this in every market. We're a Main Street bank. That's why we can decide here locally where the needs are and what we can do. And we couldn't be more proud to be partnering with Heart of America, the St. Paul Public Libraries. All of you that are leading those efforts is just amazing. So as far as next steps, we'll have to see. But I think for now, we just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us for all the commitment to our community, all the volunteering that's going on today. We could not be more proud, and we're looking forward to a lot of active space in this renovated, beautiful. These murals are just amazing and local. We think in about a year we're going to see the same kind of transformation, not only in this space, but in how the community is using this space. Thank you very much.
2, 1.